make a mess.
The screenwriting, you didn't have any formal training in it? No. So how did you go about learning? Just by doing?
No, I just hung out with Robert Town. Just call him up. Hey, man. Yeah, no. Like everything, I mean, I didn't have formal training in anything. I taught myself to be a cinematographer, and I shot a show for Fincher. It actually never came out, though. It was called Videosyncrasy for HBO, and we shot the first 2 episodes, but they didn't buy the season for some reason. But it was a pretty interesting experience for me, needless to say. But yeah, I'm kind of autodidactic, kind of. You just look. When I was just saying. This is incredible what you students now have, because when I had the wise idea to become a filmmaker and go to film school, this is not the kind of environment that we had. I mean, especially on the East Coast. I was from New York, and you just don't have studios or any of that stuff. You know, you had an equipment room, which was a closet, and it had like 16 millimeter cameras, and they had maybe 7 of those cameras that you had to, beg, borrow, and steal to get, and then you do your little film rolls and then edit on a flatbed and all this kind of stuff. I know I'm giving my age away, but whatever. And no studios or any of that stuff. Lighting, I mean, really, you had a Lowell, you know those Lowell kits? They're like 1K kits. They're ENG kits. You go, if you ever get into news or anything like that, you carry it around with you. You open the lights up. They're meant to be plugged into the wall, and you put them up, and that's it. And we would make our movies with that kind of stuff. We didn't have anything like this. So the film school offered you that and a piece of paper that said BFA at the end of 4 years. And of course they took your money. But in that, but the good thing is that under the auspices of being a film major and being able to dedicate your energies and your whatever that may be, I mean, we went to work. And the guys that wanted to get the cameras got the cameras. The guys that got the lights figured out how to do it. You didn't have the perfect light, but you understood lighting. You bounced it. You did this. You got a sheet to, you didn't have 216 or whatever this is, grid cloth it looks like, but you didn't have this stuff. So you worked it. You figured it out. And that's what taught you. So I taught myself to shoot. Because to me at the time, I thought this is funny, speaking of writing actually, I thought at the time the most important thing was how the film looked. Because people would judge you on how your movie looked. And there is some truth to that. So in film school, I'd have, this cool lighting and half-lit faces and, all this kind of stuff and some kind of dolly shot or something. And people would say, wow, he's a great filmmaker. You're a great filmmaker. His story was for crap, but, but it looked cool. But very early on, around that time, someone said to me, writing's everything. And, Coppola famously said to George Lucas, if you want to be a director, you have to learn to write. And I was like, what do you know? And my film teacher at the time said writing is everything. And I was like, I didn't want to listen to him. Shooting was everything. But the truth is, nothing happens until you put it on paper. Nothing. And that goes for music videos, nothing happens until you write it on paper. And your ability to craft prose in some compelling way that makes someone start paying is really the job, And then, of course, you expand that to a full-length script. And if you have, a lot of guys get in by the script. They hold it hostage. And they just go, here's a great script. There are not that many of them. A lot of people write scripts, but there are not that many.